Welcome viewers. Welcome to Family Secrets. Here's what happens next after the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Please take a second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell to hear our newest updates. A cautiously orchestrated graph is now in full swing following the demise of Queen Elizabeth II on Thursday afternoon. The huge logistics operation surrounding her funeral operations even has its personal operational name, Operation London Bridge. It has already been elaborated extremely through the reality the Queen died peacefully at her Scottish domestic in Balmoral, ending a splendid reign of extra than 70 years. Original plans to return the Queen to London by means of Instruct are thinking to have been switched to flying her coffin via airplane, however that might not take place for 3 days as the royals are given time to grieve in private. However, the reputable 10 days of mourning should be prolonged by using 48 hours due to the fact of the reality the Queen was once in Scotland. When she handed away, the Queen played a key position in planning her very own funeral. However, her son King Charles will get the remaining say on the ceremony, which is predicted to be one of the most watched occasions of all time. After being flown into London, a hearse will then transport the coffin to Buckingham Palace, the place it will continue to be overnight, and the place individuals of the royal household will say prayers. Lying in country at Buckingham Palace is probably to run for nearly 24 hours a day, closing for a quick duration solely for cleansing to enable admirers from round the world to pay their closing respects to the Queen. Hundreds of heaps are predicted to journey to the English capital, sparking one of the largest safety operations ever put in place. The kingdom funeral at Westminster Abbey itself is speculated to take place on Monday, September 19, giving time for world leaders to arrive. On the day of the funeral, the Queen's coffin is anticipated to technique on a gun carriage to the Abbey, pulled by using naval rankings the usage of ropes, alternatively than horses. Senior individuals of the royal household are anticipated to stroll at the back of it, as they did for the funeral of Prince Philip and for Diana, Princess of Wales. The UK Armed Forces will line the streets and additionally be part of the procession. The provider will be conducted by the Dean of Westminster, with a sermon from the Archbishop of Canterbury. Later the identical day, her coffin will be taken to St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle for a televised committal service. The route alongside the streets for the Queen's closing trip from London to Windsor is predicted to be mobbed with the aid of thousands of hundreds of people. The carriage carrying her coffin will technique slowly alongside around central London route previous Parliament Square, the Mall and Hyde Park corner, to permit the public to pay their respects. It will then be moved to a hearse for the pressure to Windsor Castle. There will then be a non-public interment carrier with senior participants of the royal family. The Queen's ultimate resting region will be the tiny King George VI Memorial Chapel, the place her mom and father had been buried, alongside with the ashes of her sister Princess Margaret. Prince Philip's coffin will be moved from the royal vault to the Memorial Chapel to be positioned subsequent to the Queen. The problems raised, specifically that of race, are concerning. Whilst some recollections might also vary, they are taken very critically and will be addressed by using the household privately. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will constantly be a lot cherished household members. The announcement is the first remark through the palace following Harry and Meghan's 2-hour interview with Oprah Winfrey, in which they alleged that Meghan had skilled racism and callous therapy at some point of her time in the royal family. Earlier, some observers had stated that Buckingham Palace's silence on the subject matter has solely brought to the furor surrounding the TV The Interview, which aired Sunday night time in the US and a day later in Britain, has rocked the royal household and divided humans round the world. While many say the allegations show the want for trade internal a palace that hasn't stored tempo with the number Metu and Black Lives Matter movements, others have criticized Harry and Meghan for losing their bombshell. Whilst. Please inform us in the comments. Please do now no longer forget about to subscribe and flip on the notification bell to see our agency new day updates. Thanks for